I see.
Yeah, it's become a big problem for me. It's just, I mean, we've been together 5 years, and it's just like, I mean, I love him a lot, and the problem is just like, I feel like this violence that he gets when he gets so angry, like, he doesn't even have, like, he's just, it seems like any little thing could set him off, and he gets so angry, and it's never towards me. The only problem is that it's just, it just feels like one day it might be towards me.
Boyfriend gets angry easily, right?
I mean, it's a big problem. I mean, I really want to stay with him, you know, and we've broken up twice, and, you know, it was on silly issues, and I mean, I swear, he tried to, like, kill himself those both times, and I feel, like, almost obligated to stay with him sometimes, but I do realize that I do love him a lot, and I care about him a lot, and it's just that this anger is something that scares me, you know. We talk about, you know, growing up and getting married and stuff, and I don't know if I could deal with that whole thing about him just being, you know, violent. Like, what if one day he turns on me, and, you know, what am I going to do then? That would be far too into, you know, turn back.
Have you ever considered him to go to the hospital for this that he has?
Honestly, I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I don't want to give him the wrong idea. I don't want him to think that I think there's something wrong with him. I care about him a lot. I don't know how to go about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with him, but then again, I don't know if there is, and I just worry sometimes.
If you have to worry and think about your safety, then there is a problem, and I think you should have him go see immediate care.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to think that there's a problem with him. I mean, I'm just hoping, you know, I think that maybe it's just something that'll pass, and, you know, maybe it's just a little stage in his life, and maybe he'll get over it one day, and, you know, we can be all right, and, you know, I don't know.
How does that make you feel?
Terrible, really. I mean, to be together with someone for 5 years, you know, you think you know someone, and then, you know, little by little you start to realize the things about them and stuff, and I mean, it comes to the point where, you know, sometimes I worry because, I mean, really, like, he's a great guy and he's really nice, and never has, you know, the violence been, you know, towards me or anything. And I mean, I know a lot about his childhood, and, you know, he was born in Chicago, and I know all the tough, you know, childhood stories he's told me about, and, you know, I understand where he comes from, but it's, you know, I don't know what to do with him sometimes.
Who does he usually aim with his violence? Like his parents or friends, or?
I mean, usually if he's angry about something, I mean, he'll throw things, or, you know, he'll slam things. I mean, it's never, I mean, he can get, you know, loud, and he'll shout sometimes, and, you know, the anger's usually never been towards me. I mean, if we get into fights or something, like, he'll shout at me sometimes, and, you know, I shout back, and it's just, you know, because I'm hurt, you know, because it's just, when you think you're safe with someone, and then at the same time you think you're not, and you kind of worry about it, and, you know.
Has he broke any of your stuff?
I mean, no, never, but I mean, sometimes, you know, he'll be in my house, and if he gets upset, you know, sometimes he'll slam my door or something, and then I feel like I've been disrespected, and, you know, I mean, he calms down afterwards, and he apologizes, and he seems really sincere about it, and, you know, I really do believe him. It's just that, you know, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell him, you know, that I needed to stop, you know, until, you know, it gets worse.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, the whole thing just makes me feel really bad. I really want things to change, but
they will. They will.
I mean, I really hope so. I mean, I have a lot of faith in our future and stuff, and I'm just hoping, you know, everything, you know, he means what he really says, and, you know, little by little our start seeing changes, because he has changed a lot. But
how was he like before?
I mean, he had a temper before.
And he doesn't now?
I mean, he still has that bit of a temper, but I know he holds it in just because of me, and he does his best. I mean, it still slips out sometimes, but, you know, I can't blame him. He's only human, you know, and he's learning just as I am.
And you said he's very violent. Am I correct?
I guess you could say violent. I mean, it's mostly towards, you know, physical objects, and he does get kind of loud with stuff, you know, arguments and stuff, but it's never been inflicted, like, on a person.
Oh, so he hasn't put anyone in the hospital?
No hands on anyone.
Thank goodness. Thank you, God.
But yes, that's really my main issue, I guess you could say, right now.
I understand, and you know what? Things can and will get better, you know? I mean, if you just address the problem to him. If you've been together 5 years, he should be able to handle it. and take the information without taking it in too personally.
Right. You know, and I do expect the best of him, and I know he's changed a lot for me, and he's done a lot for me, and I respect that, and it seems like I find something else to nitpick at him about, but I feel like this is a really important issue that should be addressed.
Yeah, I think you should address it, and you should come back next week and let me know how everything went.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm curious for myself and for your safety. I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Right. That's my main concern too, of course, myself.
So you're feeling good about it now?
I mean, honestly, I do feel a little, I do feel better now that I've talked about it. Because, I've talked to him about it, but, you can only do so much when you talk to one person. And I feel a little better now that I've, let it out.
Let it out. Now you just have to let it out to him. Step closer.
Was it 5?
It was like
Praise
6,
the Lord.
probably.
Okay. Praise the Lord.
Shit.
Okay. I think anger management is in his near future.
I could see where that's coming from. I do.